You have 7 seconds. 3 missiles incoming, 680 miles per hour. Your Aegis system has already fired. 2 interceptors in the air. But the math doesn't work. 3 missiles, 2 interceptors. Something is getting through. Your ship, your crew. 300 lives depending on what you do in the next 7 seconds. What do you do? Captain Marcus Webb faced that exact decision at 4:46 a.m. on February 9th, 2026. And what he did in those 7 seconds hadn't been done in combat since World War II. Welcome to Global Warfare TV. This is the story of how one captain's split-second decision saved a $2.2 billion destroyer and 300 American sailors. The Strait of Hormuz, the world's most dangerous choke point. Every day, $1.4 billion worth of oil passes through these waters. Every day, Iranian forces watch from the shore. Every day, the threat of attack hangs over every ship that makes the transit. The USS Paul Ignatius was conducting a routine escort mission, shepherding 3 commercial tankers through the strait. Standard formation, standard protocol. But there was nothing standard about what happened next. The IRGC had been probing American defenses for weeks. Fast attack boats making aggressive runs, then turning away at the last moment. Drones circling at the edge of the restricted zone. It was a game of nerves, a test of reaction times, a probe for weaknesses. At 4:42 a.m., they found one. The Paul Ignatius was positioned on the starboard flank of the convoy, 5 nautical miles from the lead tanker. Standard escort position. But the configuration created a blind spot. According to the after-action report, the destroyer's radar couldn't see through the massive bulk of the tanker's superstructure. And hidden in that radar shadow, 3 IRGC fast attack boats had been waiting. 6 hours, engines off, drifting silently, invisible to radar, waiting for the perfect moment. What's your assessment of this situation? Should the Navy have anticipated the blind spot? Or was this an unavoidable vulnerability? Comment below. At 4:44:32, the boats emerged simultaneously. Sina-class vessels, each displacing just 10 tons, each carrying 2 C-802 anti-ship missiles, Chinese design, Iranian manufacture. Range, 120 kilometers. Warhead, 165 kilograms. The Paul Ignatius's AN/SPY-1 classified them immediately. Fast surface contacts, 12 nautical miles, bearing 065. Captain Webb recognized the signature. He had trained against this exact scenario 100 times in simulation. Fast attack boats, missile range. This wasn't a probe. This was an attack. General quarters, all hands to battle stations, weapons free. The crew had drilled for this moment 1,000 times. Within 90 seconds, every combat station was manned. The Mark 41 vertical launch system armed. The Phalanx C-IWS spun up to stand by, but the IRGC was faster. At 4:46:18, all 3 boats launched simultaneously. 6 missiles in total, 2 from each vessel. The C-802s climbed to 100 feet, then dove to wave-skimming altitude. Flight time to target, 54 seconds. If you're following this breakdown, hit that subscribe button. Global Warfare TV delivers tactical analysis you won't find anywhere else. The Aegis combat system responded instantly. It calculated intercept solutions for all 6 threats. It prioritized targets based on time to impact. It assigned weapons automatically. 4 SM-2 block. 3A missiles erupted from the forward VLS cells, each tracking a different incoming threat. The mathematics were brutal. 4 interceptors, 6 missiles. Even with an 85% success rate, something would get through. The first intercept occurred at 4:46:47. An SM-2 slammed into a C-802 at 2,400 meters from the ship. The fireball was visible from the bridge. 1 down. The second intercept came 3 seconds later. Another direct hit. 2 down. The third intercept failed. According to the technical analysis, the SM-2's proximity fuse detonated too early. A timing error measured in milliseconds. The C-802 flew through the debris cloud, damaged, but still functional. Still tracking the destroyer. The fourth intercept succeeded, but that left 3 missiles still incoming. Flight time remaining, 11 seconds. The Phalanx CIWS engaged. Its 6-barrel Gatling gun spewed 4,500 rounds per minute toward the nearest threat. The tungsten penetrators shredded the damaged missile, causing it to tumble and crash into the sea 400 meters from the ship. 2 missiles remained. 7 seconds to impact. This is the moment that changes everything. Captain Webb made his decision in less than a second. All ahead flank, hard to port. The helmsman spun the wheel. The engineering officer pushed the throttles to maximum. The Paul Ignatius's twin LM-2 gas turbines surged to full power. 100,000 shaft horsepower driving the ship into a violent emergency turn. What would you have done with 7 seconds to live? Trusted the CIWS to stop both missiles? Or ordered the turn? Tell me in the comments. A destroyer executing an emergency turn at 33 knots heels over dramatically. The deck tilted 30 degrees to starboard. Unsecured equipment went flying. Sailors grabbed handholds to stay upright. The ship groaned under the stress, but the maneuver achieved its purpose. But Captain Webb wasn't there anymore. The first missile passed 30 meters behind the ship's stern. Its radar seeker, confused by the sudden course change, couldn't reacquire the target in time. It continued on, searching for something to hit, until its fuel ran out 12 kilometers away. The second missile partially reacquired. It adjusted its terminal approach, but the correction wasn't enough. It struck the water 15 meters from the ship's hull. The explosion was catastrophic, not to the ship, but to anyone nearby. The 165-kilogram warhead detonated on impact with the water. The shockwave hammered the destroyer's hull. Sonar equipment was destroyed. Paint was stripped from the starboard side. 3 sailors in the aft compartments suffered ruptured eardrums from the pressure wave. But the USS Paul Ignatius survived. The entire engagement had lasted 97 seconds. 6 missiles launched, 5 destroyed or evaded. 0 direct hits on the American vessel. Support Global Warfare TV by hitting that thumbs up. Your engagement helps us produce more tactical content like this. Captain Webb didn't have time to celebrate. 3 Iranian fast attack boats were still out there, and according to intelligence estimates, they were reloading. The IRGC had anticipated the initial attack might fail. Each Cena-class boat carried 4 missiles total, 2 in the launchers and 2 in reserve. Webb ordered an immediate counterattack. Flight time to target, 42 seconds. The Iranian boats attempted to scatter. At 52 knots, they could cover significant distance. But Harpoon missiles travel at 530 miles per hour. There was no escape. The first Harpoon struck the lead Cena-class boat amidships. The 488-pound warhead vaporized the vessel instantly. All 6 crew members were killed. The second Harpoon tracked the fleeing second boat. It struck the stern, detonating the reserve missiles still in their storage racks. The secondary explosion was even larger than the primary. The boat disintegrated. The third Iranian boat's commander made a split-second decision. He ordered his crew to abandon ship and radioed a surrender signal. 11 minutes later, 4 Iranian sailors were pulled from the water by the Paul Ignatius's rescue helicopter. They would provide valuable intelligence in the weeks to come. Final tally, 3 IRGC boats destroyed, 16 Iranian sailors killed, 4 captured. 0 American fatalities, but the battle wasn't over. Iranian shore batteries had been tracking the engagement. At 5:03 a.m., 2 ballistic missiles launched from sites near Bandar Abbas. Flight time to the destroyer's last known position, 4 minutes. Captain Webb had anticipated this. He ordered an immediate withdrawal at maximum speed, heading south toward international waters. The destroyer reached 35 knots within 2 minutes. The ballistic missiles impacted the water at 5:07 a.m., right where the Paul Ignatius had been during the engagement. If Webb had stayed to recover additional survivors, his ship would have been destroyed. Was Captain Webb's evasive maneuver a brilliant tactical innovation, or a desperate gamble that happened to work? Leave your thoughts below. Iran claimed its forces had been defending against American aggression in Iranian territorial waters. The claim was false. GPS data showed the engagement occurred 8 nautical miles inside international waters. President Mitchell addressed the nation within hours. The United States Navy defended itself against an unprovoked Iranian attack. Our sailors performed magnificently under fire. Iran should understand that any future attacks will be met with overwhelming force. Captain Webb received the Navy Cross for his actions that night. The citation specifically mentioned his decision to execute an emergency maneuver rather than rely solely on automated defenses. A masterful combination of technology and seamanship that preserved his ship and crew. But the award came with controversy. Some analysts argued the maneuver was reckless, that trusting the CIWS to stop the remaining missiles would have been the safer choice. Others pointed out that CIWS has a historical success rate of approximately 70% against sea-skimming missiles in real-world conditions. With 2 missiles incoming, the math suggested at least 1 might get through. Webb's decision to take human action rather than trust the machine may have been the difference between survival and catastrophe. The Paul Ignatius herself required 3 weeks of repairs. The near miss had caused structural stress throughout the hull. Sonar arrays needed complete replacement, but she returned to service, her crew proud of what they had accomplished. It demonstrated both the strengths and limitations of the Aegis combat system. It showed that human judgment still matters in the age of automated warfare, and it proved that American destroyers could survive determined attacks by motivated adversaries. But it also showed the vulnerability. 6 missiles, 5 stopped, 1 near miss that came within 15 meters of catastrophe. Against a larger salvo, against more sophisticated weapons, the outcome might have been different. The sailors who serve in the Persian Gulf understand this reality. They train constantly. They maintain eternal vigilance. They know that the next alarm might be real, and that their lives depend on their ability to react faster than the enemy's missiles can fly. The Navy updated its training protocols after that night. Every destroyer captain now drills emergency evasive maneuvers as part of standard combat preparation. Captain Webb proved that sometimes the old tactics are still the best tactics. When technology fails, seamanship saves lives. The question now is whether the next captain will have 7 seconds to make the same choice, or whether the next missile will be too fast to evade. Stay vigilant, stay informed. I'll see you in the next one.